Hello, and welcome to Endoor N-Gauge Model Railway. I'm Jonathan. Endoor is an N-Gauge railway on a door, with all of its components on the surface. There were a few reasons for that, which I talked about in video number 1, but essentially they stem from the railway not having a permanent home. Well, that's now changed. Endoor has a home. It's been granted what was once a guest room, then for a long time just a storage room, now primarily a model railway room. Endoor is my just get something done model railway, and so far it's the same approach with a frame to lay it on. I wanted to get it in situ quickly after clearing the room, and haven't decided on exactly what to do with that sofa yet, so I built a frame to span it. It doesn't need to be particularly strong, but I accidentally bought wood that's half as wide as I thought it was. It was neatly and tightly bundled in a plastic wrap that I glanced at without paying enough attention to what the label said. But this frame is temporary, so I decided it would be less faff to just use it anyway, rather than go back to the shop for more wood. The door itself has enough strength to not need lots of support underneath. After many months of carrying this door back and forth, and connecting and disconnecting the controller, etc., it's been a simple but great pleasure to be able to screw the DCC base station onto the underside of the door and leave everything connected. Another luxury I now have is a place to hold my controller. The frame did wobble a fair bit though, so I added some packing at the top against the wall, since at the bottom the legs can only go as far as the skirting board. I measured it to fit reasonably tightly against the sofa, which pins the back legs against the skirting board and wall, and that's ended up being quite stable. I was also very pleased that I could route cables from the centre of the railway through and under the door. This now gives me a bit more freedom about what I can do with the landscape at this end of the layout. I don't have to have a tunnel or thick bridge of some sort. I haven't quite decided where to put the point motor switches yet, but it will be nice to finally have them firmly anchored somewhere. I've still got a few other decisions to make before I do much else. I'm considering dismantling that sofa. It came mainly in 3 big parts. It will still be kept where it is, but I might be able to store it all under the area of the door and free up some floor space. And, of course, I'm frequently thinking about what else I could build that would be bigger than a door, now that I have the space. At the moment I'm considering a broadly L-shaped layout, but I think on the whole I'll focus on Endoor as is and use it to build up my skills and know-how before getting too distracted by the next layout. In theory I can also now make progress more rapidly, because I won't have to wait until the times that I have Endoor out. It'll always be there and available to play with. It's also very nice to be able to run new rolling stock as soon as it arrives. The most recent arrivals are some Dapol JHA wagons. The real things run in fixed rakes where the middle wagons don't have buffers. These models have special connections that allow nice close coupling. Only the end wagons come with a standard rapido coupling. The end ones don't come with a connecting bar, whereas the middle ones come with 2, so if you have multiple middle ones together then you need to pull some bars out. I found wagons quite difficult to connect. When pushed together the sockets bend down against the force of the bar, so much so that the wagons come together and can't be pushed any closer. I found that lifting the wagon up a bit and putting a finger under stops the bar and sockets from bending down, and so the bar clips in. I'm not all that familiar with the real wagons, but the detail here looks nice and they form a nice train that my Class 60 looks at home with, and my Class 66s will look just as good with them. But there's an issue. My Class 60, which feels quite heavy and is probably quite strong, can barely pull this rate of 13 around the curve. In this video it's at full power for most of the curve. There's far too much rolling resistance in these wagons, and from what I've researched so far I know I'm not alone. There are some fixes that I'll need to make. Mark at Piddle in the Marsh covers the issues and fixes, so I'll put links into the description for those videos and to a couple of websites. That's not the most positive note to end on, so here's a working train going around Endoor. That's all for now. Bye bye.